You're listening to the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast.
What is up, everybody? You are checking out the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, the Hot Commodity Ant C, joined by my Hot Commodity Ant, and we are the current co-WWE pay-per-view tag team champions, and we are here covering WWE Friday Night SmackDown from May 10th, 2024, live in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, not too far from Connecticut. Nick Aldis welcomes us to SmackDown, and he welcomes out the WWE champion, Cody Rhodes. Nick congratulates Cody for beating AJ Styles. And then Nick says, we must turn our attention to the King and Queen of the Ring. You want to defend that title against the best. Your next challenger has been determined. And that's when WWE United States champion Logan Paul comes out. Logan says, we are going to main event the King and Queen of the Ring, champion versus champion. And I will kick off the Logan Paul Levesque era. Cody says, that's a challenge I like. Logan says, I don't care about your feelings. I got some facts. I am the longest reigning champion in WWE. I am the greatest attraction in this company. I had the greatest rookie year of all time, and I am a superstar. You're a superstar too, right? You won the 2023 Royal Rumble, and all everyone remembers from that night was my viral collision with Ricochet. Yes, you won at WrestleMania, but all we talked about was Prime. That was my moment. You and I debuted on the same night at WrestleMania. Since then, I have been the rocket fuel for the spaceship that is WWE. How can you finish your story when it's not even yours? I'm going to knock you out on my own and leave champion. Cody says, what a dumbass. I'm going to call you an influencer. I'm not going to call you an influencer. I got a sense of who you are. You went toe-to-toe with Floyd Mayweather. You won your U.S. championship in your 5th match. If I won that title, it would make me a Grand Slam champion. You are disrespectful, delusional. This is a team, and in Saudi Arabia, you will find out where you stand on that team. And they both raised the titles. I thought this was a great promo. I'm glad that Logan Paul is the opponent to Cody Rhodes. I was listening to Busted Open, and they made a good point in referencing that right now the biggest heel in WWE is Logan Paul, because he's not like on Instagram posting. He's not seen with good guys. He does his own thing, and you believe that he's a bad guy. But what do you think of this promo, and do you think it's going to be title versus title? Because they just said champion versus champion.
Well, the way Cody said that if he wins it, he'll be a 5-time Grand Slam. I do think it's going to be title versus title. And I think King of the Ring is going to be really big. I think some big things are going to happen. And I think that, to be honest with you, I think there's going to be some type of disqualification, which isn't hard in a Logan Paul match, considering he never has a match without using brass knuckles. Mm-hmm. I don't think either one. I think either Cody's going to win both titles, or no one's going to win anything.
Okay. You know, I can see that. That's what someone said. They called in and asked, like, if someone were to run in, what does that mean for the titles? They would just stay the same. They would just be like, no, clear winner. Well, we got our first match of the night, the Queen of the Ring, first round, Naomi versus Nia Jax. This is a decent match. Nia Jax, Samoan dropped Naomi on the floor. Naomi went split-legged moonsault to get a 2 count, but the end comes and Nia Jax hits 2 power bombs, a leg drop, and an annihilator. Nia Jax moves on to Queen of the Ring quarterfinals next week. What do you think of Nia being?
I think Nia. I knew she was going to beat her. I think Nia Jax is either going to be in the final. I think she's probably going to make it to the final. I think she'll probably be part of the Queen of the Ring.
Okay, so you're already calling it. Nia Jax is going to make it to the final.
It's a good possibility.
Over Jade and Bianca, because she's going to have to beat them.
This is the thing. I don't think it's going to be Jade versus Bianca. I think Tiffany is going to beat Bianca somehow. Because I don't think that Jade is going to get a loss yet. And doesn't make sense to put them against each other yet. They just got the tag team titles. So I think Bianca's going to have.
Okay. Well, we got our King of the Ring first round, Baron Corbin versus Carmelo Hayes. This is another decent match here on SmackDown. Corbin lands a sit-out slam and a DVD. Carmelo lands a flying first 450 and lands a big shot. Corbin hits a deep six, but Carmelo Hayes rolls up Corbin, and Carmelo Hayes advances in the quarterfinals of the King of the Ring. I think he's got a good future ahead of him. And although I like Corbin, I think Carmelo Hayes was the right guy to get the win.
Yeah.
Next up, Randy Orton is talking backstage. He calls out Tama Tonga and the Bloodline, and he says, we're going to do everything to get them back for hurting Kevin Owens. We'll see Tonga and Orton, or I'm sorry, Orton and AJ Styles later on in the main event. Our second Queen of the Ring first round match is happening. 1.5 the women's tag champion, Jade Cargill, defeats Piper Niven with Chelsea Green. This was another good match on SmackDown. Piper looked really good. Jade lands a Blue Thunder Bomb to get a 2 count. Piper Niven lands a cannonball to get a 2. But then Cargill hits a pump kick and Jade Cargill defeats Piper Niven to move on to the Queen of the Ring. We kind of knew Jade Cargill was going to win that one.
Yeah, I think it might come down to, can it be Nia versus her?
Well,
no, it's got to be a Raw
version. Nia would have to beat her to make it to the final.
Okay. And I think it's going to be Jade versus the Raw person.
Okay. All right. So it's not going to be Nia.
Probably not.
Okay. Next up, we have another Queen of the Ring. The other half of the women's tag team champions, Bianca Belair, defeats Candice LeRae with Indy Hartwell. This is a quick match. Bianca gets the win after a KOD. Really not much to talk here. I like Candice LeRae, but we knew Bianca was going to advance. We see the Bloodline backstage. Paul Heyman wants to talk to Solo alone. Paul says, I'm Roman's wise man. You're making decisions without him. Solo says, your biggest mistake was pulling Roman Reigns out of the draft. That made us a third pick. You're trying to take money or food from my family. You looked at my brother Jimmy J like you needed help. I've spoken to Roman Reigns. Until he comes back, I'm in charge, and you will be my wise man by orders of the tribal chief. Solo hugs Paul, telling him he loves him, but he looks at Tama and Lau, and it doesn't look like he means good with Paul. Do you think he really did talk to Roman, or do you think he's lying about his conversation with Roman? He's just trying to take over the Bloodline.
Okay, two things I think might be wrong. Either he's flat out lying, or Paul Heyman's acting, and they're all going to turn on Roman.
Okay, I can see that happening. Maybe Paul's mad that Roman hasn't returned his calls and sort of get back at him. They will
or
turn against
Roman
him.
lost, and he thinks Solo Sikoa is the next best thing.
Well, we'll see. I mean, Paul Heyman has screwed many guys over. That could happen and would be good long term. But as of right now, it looks as if Paul Heyman is afraid of this Bloodline. Yeah. But Solo said he talked to Roman and he's in charge. So we have another King of the Ring first round match. Angelo Dawkins with Montez Ford taking on Tama Tonga with the Bloodline. During the match, the Bloodline get involved, but Montez Ford dives onto them. Tonga, Lau, and Solo attack Montez Ford and hit a Samoan spike. And then Tama Tonga hits a modified DDT. So Tama Tonga advances in the King of the Ring. After Solo hits Angelo Dawkins with a Samoan spike, we knew Tama Tonga was going to advance. What do you think of him in the ring, though?
He's pretty good. I could see him versus Gunther.
Tama Tonga and Gunther. Okay. I think. Well, I'll tell you what I think after this. So then we have our final King of the Ring match: AJ Styles versus Randy Orton. Orton gets the win after countering a Styles Clash into an RKO to advance. I think that either Orton is going to get cost the King of the Ring by the Bloodline, or he's going to cost the Bloodline, because Tama and Orton, I think, are going to be fighting next week. So someone is going to lose. But what did you think of this episode of SmackDown? A lot of like
still have a fight at the King of the Ring, like just the two of them.
Yeah, if they both get out. Well, one of them is going to advance and one won't. That's the only thing. Unless because the winners of this are going to meet at the King of the Ring. So
Okay. Did we get a glitch in this episode?
we did, but I don't remember what it was. It's probably just
I remember. It was just a video. It was like a little video.
And what happened?
And it was the girl. There was like a girl. And then we saw. Remember we saw like the robe of Uncle Howdy.
Yeah, it came by really fast on the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're getting glimpses of that. We'll talk more when we cover Raw because we sorted a whole like little thing on that. But this was a decent episode of SmackDown. We got a QR code. We know who's going to be moving on to the qualifying matches of the King of the Ring. I like this episode because it wasn't a lot of filler. It was just like boom, 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 done.
So as of right now, do we know the semifinals of the King of the Ring?
Not right now, but when I do our Throwback Thursday, I'll get that out of it. But that was it for SmackDown. A lot of action. What did you like from this episode?
Well, I like everything that's going on with the Bloodline. I like the glitches we're getting with the Wyatts. And the King of the Ring matches have all been pretty good. So
I'm excited to see what's to come as the quarterfinal matches right now that are going to take place on SmackDown. But with that, we've covered all of SmackDown. We'll be dropping Raw. More Attitude Years coming your way. And in 2 weeks, we got King and Queen of the Ring. Excited for that. Until next time, stay safe and stay uncensored.